Today we're here in Huntington Beach, California, Surf City, USA. But if there's one sound that I like better than the staccato beat of surf music, it's this. Our founder, Soichiro Honda, said, "Without racing, there is no Honda." And that challenging spirit still lives on today, whether it's engineers at HPD building IndyCar engines or just retirees hanging out in their garage. Meet my friend Rick Mitchell. Hey, Rick.
Charles, how are you?
Great.
I've had what we'll call cool garages for years and years. The collection has just grown over the years.
One of the jewels of the collection has to be this beautiful RC51.
This was developed specifically to go out and win racing championships, and they were successful right out of the gate. It sounds like all hell breaking loose. The RC51 is the last and final bike that I'm never going to get rid of. I've got a Miguel de Hamel helmet here that was actually on his head the year that he won 2 championships. I have Toru Ukawa here next to him.
The most impressive part of your collection is kind of hidden up there in the corner. It's 3 world records.
A number of Honda associates in the press department schemed that it would be a very good idea to try to go out and set a brand new world record to introduce the VFR 750.
Laredo, Texas, on the Rio Grande, a stone's throw away from the Mexican border. On this weekend, Uniroyal's 5-mile circle track, used for high-speed testing, will be involved in a special test. A test with 2-wheel vehicles.
I remember getting a call. They said, "We have this idea to break some records." And I said, "Which records?" And he says, "Well, 24-hour records." He said it would be at Laredo, Texas, on a 5-mile oval.
American Honda has come to Laredo in an attempt to break the 24-hour distance and speed records.
The record was 128 miles an hour at the time, and we were hoping to blow that one out of the water because we knew the new VFR was just that good.
Well, the idea was to make it absolutely clear that this was a no-holds-barred performance bike.
This is something that doesn't get spoken of much, but this was a really special project to do. And to be able to work with all the people, both the employees, the riders, the journalists, and my memories are, they're all good.
There was probably 15 riders split over 24 hours. The biggest thing, especially for me, was my fear of hitting something in the darkness. You know, when you're out there at 2 or 3 in the morning and it's pitch black. There were javelinas, which is a small Texas pig. There were deer, there were rabbits, there were snakes, there were birds, and believe me, we saw all of them.
I think right out of the gate we saw that the numbers were really good. As the hours clicked by, we knew we were doing great, and then it just became, okay, just keep it going, keep it going.
I remember being on the thing for 35, 40 minutes at a time, several times. If you stuck your elbow out in the air, you could watch the tachometer go down a little bit.
Record at the time was about 127 miles an hour, sustained over 24 hours. When we broke the records ourselves, we went 143 miles an hour, average speed for 24 hours. Mr. Honda seemed to have a win-at-all-costs attitude. He wasn't going to get involved with something unless he knew that it was going to be successful. So I think Mr. Honda's spirit was embodied in this new world record that we set.
Well, one of my favorite things that you have is a little tribute picture here to Russ Collins.
Russ always used Honda power in every one of his drag race bikes. He was always going after that 200-mile-an-hour elusive record, and he was able to set a world record of 199.5 miles an hour in the quarter mile.
Tell us about this fantastic racetrack here.
That is the legendary track. We used to get 15, 20 guys over here every Thursday night racing these little slot cars. And in that time, we've had some real famous people come through here. We've had Miguel de Hamel, Steve Crevier, Pascal Picat, Bubba Schobert, and on and on and on. That's a set of Miguel de Hamel's discarded leathers that I'm not exactly sure where he fell off, but the backside of the leathers is considerably thinner than the front side.
Rick, I see you got a good beach cruiser here, an early Honda Passport.
It holds 0.8 of a gallon of fuel and gets over 100 miles to the tank. It's become my daily ghost regator. It's my pride and joy. That is a personalized plate. It says, "To Rick, thank you and best wishes, Ricky Graham, 1993.
course, like most people that love Hondas, you've got an awesome little collection of models. I did notice you got another rare bike here. This is the 919. Tell us about the inception of this 919.
I believe it was Cycle World magazine back in about '93 took a CBR 900RR, which was a fully faired bike at the time, and made what they referred to as a super standard out of it. It became what ultimately is the 919. One of the slogans that the company developed through the years was the power of dreams. And for me, 25 years was living the dream there.
Rick, thanks for hosting us today at Club Rick. I gotta tell you, with your aftermarket pipes and that full drum kit, the other heroes in this story have to be your neighbors.